Hello, hello. Sorry it's been so long. I was at like a little camp thing. Anyways, whoa, am I still recording? I don't think I'm still recording. Wait. Hold on. Oh, I still am. Okay. It like disappeared for some weird reason. Anyways, so here we have 2 months and a half before by 1x_1x1x1, chapter 4. I'll try to compose part 2. And have a great listening, my little stars. Wait. Starlings! Bye-bye. I come up with a name with you guys. It's Starlings. So, I hope you enjoy the Starlings. Summary. Oh my god, sorry. Avery combed his disheveled hair away to check if the other guy was okay. I couldn't balance myself. Wait. That face, that hair, that goddamn hoodie. Derek. His hood had slipped from the fall, revealing the patch of darker hair at his crown as he rubbed his head, grumbling something about not looking at where they're going. His universe was funny. The universe was a funny little thing. He bumped into the same person twice. He probably might get insulted a second time, too. Or, library chilling gone wrong, right? I don't know. Let's get started now. Fuck. Avery, what have you done? Avery scrambled up his chair. Avery scrambled up out of his chair and snatched his phone so quick it almost flew out of his hand. How idiotic is he? He could have waited until decent time to text Derek, but no! He decided that he'd text him in the middle of the freaking night where his crappy sleep texting was almost certain to cause a mistake like this. The fact that the guy put up with him and his pathetic attempt at befriending Derek must be so annoyed. He frantically tapped on the screen and managed to delete the heart without any more slip-ups. Thank God. Now he just has to explain. How exactly? So my fat fingers kind of fat-fingered my screen and said that. So my fat fingers kind of fat-fingered my screen and I sent you the heart. I'm sorry, haha. Actually, why does he have to explain? He could just leave it at that. Unexplained, deleted. Which was it deleted? Where Derek would be loved to assume things, and Avery was weird and would avoid him. And his finger moved on autopilot. Oop, misclick. Hopefully that settles the nagging voice in his in the blonde scrambled brain. Hopefully that settles the nagging voice in the blonde scrambled brain. He had to get to studying. Maybe by then he'll forget this ever happened. Misclicks are bound to happen. It's not like Derek would find it weird enough to block him. Happy thoughts, Avery. Avery forced himself to follow routine. Make the bed. Don't think of the mess up. Brush teeth. Don't think of the mess up. Drink water. Do not think of the mess up. Dress neat. Why was it hard anyway? Never mind that. He dressed casual, some baggy gray sweatpants and a green creeper hoodie found in his closet. Then he slipped some Crocs on. He put his hair in the usual ponytail, loose. What was the point of a tail if it can't? Whoa, I lagged. Loose. What's the point of a ponytail that itself can't keep all the strands in a tight lock? Avery swung the mini fridge door open and dug deep in its space. He groped for something edible and found the half-spoiled milkshake. He sighed worse. The blonde jabbed the straw between his lips and sipped. A little sour, but it's okay. Avery grabbed his keys from the cluttered table and put his ungodly Crocs on sports mode and left his dorm. The streets were busy as always, even if it damp in the drizzle of rain on the pavement. People would walk on puddles with shined shoes determined to reach the destination. Avery had his own destination, the library, where he could study without the clamor of students roaming the halls and the scent of old books, replacing the oily stench of instant noodles back at his door. Avery thought of checking his messages, Derek's reply. The idea alone made him physically cringe. How lonely are you, Ryan? Avery quickened his pace. It was almost 9:30 a.m. and he wasn't even halfway to the library yet. As he walked, his mind wandered back to the blue flower. Forget-me-nots are so weird. Avery walked straight. They take a year to grow, but die in a couple weeks. He waited for the pedestrian light to flash green. What's the point of taking care of something for that much time? Avery continued through the traffic, passing a crossroad, only for it to wilt away so quickly. He turned left. The library loomed ahead of him, an old building that had been standing for decades with architecture that looked like something straight out of a dark academia Pinterest board. It was filled with people that had their own goals and objectives to complete. Avery climbed the stairs. The scent of those precious old books already hitting him, dragging him into a false sense of nostalgia. He hopes that he actually studies instead of getting distracted by a book with a sparkly cover. Piles of books, papers, and open tabs on his borrowed library laptop surrounded his table. If he were to ace this whole course, he would need to set his workspace to look like he was actually logging in. It's a golden rule. Otherwise, he'd be using the Wi-Fi for nothing but doom scrolling. He studied about several flowers that caused interest: spider lilies, genus Lycris, fall lilies. The distinct varieties. Whoa, what the hell? The distinct varieties of the solanaceae and the forget-me-nots. He can't seem to stop thinking about that specific flower. The majority of his tabs were about this interesting plant. How they grow, how they adapt, and how they survive. Avery skimmed through another book that talked about it. Every fact and every detail was printed on his brain. Whoa! What was that? Hours and hours, textbook after textbook after textbook. Avery eventually had to return all of these to their respective shelves. He started stacking all of them by volume, making sure they were alphabetical. Once all of the thick, menacing-heavy books were organized, he slid his fingers on of them and hoisted them up. Holy shit, he'd underestimated how heavy these were. Avery struggled to maintain balance, but he caught on quickly. He rested his chin on the books as he walked. Oh, whoa, that's not what that says. He rested his chin on the book at the top and walked to the shelves, which were, let's say, at the far side of his spot. Good Lord, Avery, why not just leave it on the table so workers will return them by themselves? Avery limped to the other side of the room. Every step he took, a book threatening to fall. He had to arch his back at a certain angle to keep them all from cascading like dominoes. Is there anyone to help? His footwear saw vengeance. Just a few steps from the bookshelf, the rubber of his shoulder decided to make Avery's life miserable. What the ah! With an indulgent yelp, Avery felt the person peacefully thumbing the pages of his novel. The books fell tumbling down with loud, dull thuds, paper scattering all over the floor. Both people were limp on the floor. Avery sprawled over the other guy, looking like a pathetic embarrassment to a species who walk on two legs. Fuck my chud life, oh my days. Oh my god, sorry. Avery combed his disheveled hair away to check if the other guy was okay. I couldn't balance my... Wait. That face, that hair, that goddamn hoodie. Wait, I lost something. Oh, there it is. Derek. His hood had slipped from the fall, revealing the patch of darker hair as his crown as he rubbed his head, grumbling something about not looking at where they're going. The universe was a funny little thing. He bumped into the same person twice. He might get insulted a second time, too. Avery stumbled back farther away on his ass when he realized that this was the guy that sent a heart to last night. The same guy who made him overthink his entire personality. Wait, no, don't avoid him, dumbass. I'm so incredibly sorry. Avery fumbled with his hands, gesturing wildly and everything and nothing at all. When his hands caught on the fallen textbooks, his brain remembered and ordered his arms to move. Suddenly he remembered how to stand like a normal human being again. Avery grabbed what he could reach and stacked them on the table next to him quickly, as if that could get him out of the situation sooner. Derek nudged his glasses in place and swiped a hand through his unkept hair one last time between blinking up. Judging by how his eyes went wide for a second, Avery could safely assume that he recognizes the oaf that knocked them both down on their asses. It's Derek, it cleared the rasp in his voice, grunting as he pushed himself upright. It's fine. It's not really. Wait, no. It's not really. Avery mumbled a little too loudly. Derek hummed. New Year's bad luck. I'm telling you. With that, he began to help Avery tidy up the books in a calm and contrast Avery's frantic sorting. Both of them started slotting the books on their respective shelves next to each other. Why'd you carry so many books anyway? Derek's voice was smooth and infuriatingly nonchalant. Avery gulped. He slotted the botany books textbook with more force than necessary. I thought if maybe I bought more books, I'd make things easier for yourself. An embarrassed shuffle of clothes answered. Derek smirked. This is mortifying. Avery braced for a jab, or maybe that dreaded second insult. You expected him to say something like, "Don't do that, you wasted my time." Somehow, what he got was worse. Happens to the best of us. Derek slid another book back in place. He's nice? He's nice. He's nice! Why is he nice? Avery blinked at the response. Avery blinked at the response, staring at the hardcover textbook he was trying to push between the two encyclopedias like it was taunting him for his lack of social skills. Dead air was once again hovering over them. Derek picked up the last textbook and spoke softly. Sorry about yesterday. Avery, what the fuck? He's apologizing. What the flip? I don't know what got into me. The brunette continued pushing the leather in with finality. It's all right. Avery replied too quickly. He grimaced. I mean, it was a pretty stressful day, so I understand. Again with the damn humming. Plus, the test's coming up and you really, really need to review it. Oh, wait. Yeah. He's rambling. I also need to review my notes for the quiz. You have notes? Derek raised an eyebrow. Avery wanted to sing into the phone right now. Maybe? Derek's lips quirked up at the blonde. Wanted to die. Okay, I don't. I was too caught up playing Skywars and I read about plants, okay? Avery's face was burning now. He mentally shot himself on the face. I'd probably fail with or without notes, so it's no use. He buried his face in his palms, feeling the heat of his embarrassment. You did this to yourself, Ryan. I have notes. Avery looked up from his hands. Sweet mother of Jesus Christ, I saved me. What the flip happened to my voice? Sweet mother of Jesus Christ has saved me. We can review it together if you want. Christ has abandoned me. Avery was back and forthing between sure I need those notes and I want to make friends because I'm freaking lonely and no, it's fine, I will die if you're this nice to me. Avery? Yes! He practically yelped. This is a library. It was a miracle no one has escorted them out yet. You'll review with me? Derek tilted his head, getting more confused. Avery nodded, his bangs bouncing from the intensity. Avery, you are so enthusiastic. He blinked. Okay, cool. Derek pulled his hood back on and grabbed his bag sprawled across the near table and nodded to the computer section of the library. Come on. Wait, now? A stupid question, Avery. Duh, what else? Derek kept walking, already halfway across the room. The library closes at noon. Avery scrambled to get a random C++ textbook. Wait up! You've been reading the same syntax for a couple minutes now. I'm analyzing. What does that line of code do then? Derek asked. Avery groaned and dumped his head on the thin pages of Derek's notebook. I told you about this with or without notes. I'm failing this course. You're confident about failing? Derek replied, prying the notebook away gently until Avery's temple thunked against the desk. Why not be confident about passing? Because I know I won't! He sat up straight and flailed his hands like he's been electrocuted. The librarian looked up from the desk and Derek waved sheepishly. Avery didn't stop randomly. You've seen my results last semester, dude. Billboard on the freaking walls. I'll get lower than that this time. He buried his face in the crook of his elbow and mumbling the rest of his rant. If only I wasn't forced to take this, you wouldn't be forced with me testing the last of your patience. You're not forcing me. Derek tilted his head. I willingly offered to help you. Why? Avery looked up for him, his blonde curls, green eyes looking pathetically exhausted for whatever the situation. Is it because you feel bad? What? Avery, it's not. It so is. Derek went silent. Truth be told, Derek did feel bad. He felt bad because at some point he saw himself in Avery. Alone, struggling. The only difference was that he was still active, still keeping that charm in him, still prioritizing other people over himself. Derek knew that the spark would die out. He didn't want that. Of course he wouldn't. No one would. So he reached out. It seems like that backfired. Sorry, that was rude. Avery muttered, looking at anything but the guy beside him. It's just... He cut himself off, unsure if he could vent to the person he had just met. Go on. As if he read his thoughts, Derek replied, I don't know. I can't pick my own course. I'm forced to learn things I can't really grasp on. And now, he gestured to Derek. Now I'm being difficult to the only guy that bothered to help. Avery sighed. I'm not smart like you, Derek. Silence sat between them, save for the distant hum of some random air conditioner. The words held away, one Derek wasn't sure how to handle. Derek wasn't smart. He never was. Sure, he had an abysmal GPA, if that 4, but that's it. He's stupid at talking to people. He's dumb at social signals. He can't express his feelings in words. They just don't describe anything he felt. And Avery calls that smart? He lightly pushed off the desk he was leaning on. Let me tell you something. Avery looked up from his sulking. It's not about being smart, Avery. It's about mastering the system. But yeah, you have to be smart to get that, Avery. Right, sorry. Derek huffed but kept going. The education system is fucked enough to have these loopholes. As one must say, you don't really have to dig deep and understand every topic to pass. You just need to memorize some specific ones, the rest will follow. That doesn't make sense, but it also does. Right, Derek doesn't know how to explain shit. You'll get it soon enough. He closed the textbooks. Now, what is that word? Dodgered? Degrade? Oh, degrade. No, that's the doggrade? Doggrade. Bro, how... Dogeared. Degrade? Degrade. Oh, degrade! Degrade to oblivion. You've picked up the flashcards lying on the table. You've already mastered the basics. You got the flashcards correct. He tapped a stack of papers to even it out. And the fact is, you've got that within 2 hours, and that's basically a head start. Then, as an attempt to lighten the mood, he elbowed Avery's side gently, earning a surprised squeak. Stop being so hard on yourself. You're smart in a different way, he smiled. You think I don't see those textbooks about plants? Avery flushed. Even after the comfort, he still found himself wanting to burst out of this room. Yeah, I like plants. Really, Avery? That's your response? Good night, bro. Sorry if I'm more of a tech-savvy guy. Derek waved at him with foul dismissiveness. Somehow that got Avery to loosen up. The blonde found himself snickering at the dumb joke. Nerd, he thought. Stupid, genuinely nice type of nerd. Derek's phone buzzed. It was so loud, vibrating on the table like the sound itself wanted out. Avery jumped at the sudden noise, and Derek grabbed it before he could disturb further. He checked the caller's ID. Shit, he swore. I gotta go. The awkward comfort was shattered just like that. Avery missed it already. Wait, now? Yeah, now. Avery was No, not Avery. Derek was already packing and slinging his bag over his shoulder. Oh, I'm sorry, we can continue this when I'm free. Then, he was walking. Quick. Thumb over in the accept button. Avery, say something. His brain nagged. Don't miss this opportunity. Wait. Derek's next step faltered. He looked bad, eyes up. Sorry, I actually scrolled all the way to the top. Give me a hot second. You know, okay. Derek's next steps faltered. He looked back, eyes almost covered from all the air pushed against his hoodie. He waited. Holy shit, he waited. I'll see you next Tuesday? Avery asked, a voice weak and uncertain, almost inaudible. The anxiety was lathered all over his tone. The doubt was absolute. Derek paused for a beat, then he nodded. Avery might have imagined the beast heard a small okay before his phone finally turned away. Avery watched from the table as Derek walked away. He watched until his boots stepped out the door. He remembered every word as Avery walked to get a snack and root himself back home. Avery thought of texting Derek. This time the idea made him smile. Computer science was suddenly interesting now. That for me. What the fuck? It's a text message, by the way. That for me. What the fuck? I forgot to delete it. Oh my god. Lamau. Hi. Hey. I forgot to give you my notes back at the library. My bad. No, it's okay. Your call was more important, so I understand. Thanks for listening back there. It's nothing. I'm everywhere, by the way. That's sweet. I got to go, though. Gotta buy dinner. See you next Tuesday. Thumbs up. POV Derek after Avery asked to see him again. It's like a little victory thing, you know, the one with the guy that says the rock and roll high school shirt, and he's going like, hell yeah. Anyways, that was 2 months and a half before by 1x_1x1x1. Make sure you go check out their AWTDE YouTube channel. Remember, they wrote all of this. I didn't. And remember that the thumbnail is their art, not mine. But the art in the video is mine. It's just a little time-lapse of my drawing. Because I don't know what else to put as the background. Because I kind of find it boring when it's just a still background. So I watch, I like to put time-lapse in case you want to watch it. But, let me know how to spell that word, how to say that word back there that I spelled out. I don't know how to do that. Anyways, see you next time, my starlings. And remember, this is Star reading, 2 months and a half before by 1x_1x1x1. And by the way, chapter 5 isn't out yet, so I cannot record that one yet. Sorry to the person who said I was taking so long. Sorry about that. I probably should have recorded before camp, but whatever. Hold on, I forgot to say something. My next video will be me playing a game with my friend. it's already been recorded. I just gotta edit it and stuff. Leave what game that you think it is. It's a really popular game right now, and yeah. And if you want, you can leave other games that you want to see me play, or like me and my friends. Like, okay. Sorry. Bye now, my starlings.